Well, thank you for taking the time to be here this afternoon. I want to extend a thank you to the City of Boston and the Bowl Committee for providing an outstanding experience for our players and our staff. Being away from home for Christmas hasn't felt like being away from home. Everyone's been so welcoming. The hotel has been amazing. I think the highlight so far for me, and I'm sure for these guys, has been the ability to come to Fenway last night under the lights, get on the field, throw the ball around, go behind the green monster, get in the batting cages, see the World Series trophies, and just experience the rich history and tradition of this amazing ballpark. And tomorrow is going to be really special. To be able to take the field at Fenway and play a football game will be a memory we'll never forget. And to be able to play a quality opponent like UNC, an ACC opponent, is a huge challenge for us. And I think we're really excited about that opportunity. So on behalf of all of UConn Nation, I just want to say thank you very much to Boston and the Bowl Committee and the people here at Fenway for making this a wonderful experience for us. Thank you.
Yeah, Jelani or maybe Chase could speak to this too, but or any of you might want to weigh in. But for those of you who were here during the 1-11 season, when Coach Mora walked in the door and late in that season and went to some of the games, could you have envisioned something like this happening, that the program would gain the momentum that it's gained these last 3 years?
Go ahead. Yeah, I just remember that first encounter I had with Coach Moore. It was in 2021, right before the Clemson game. Me and my dad went up and shook our hands at Coach Moore, and I just remember the emotion of confidence that just bled through Coach Moore, and I kind of fed off that ever since I met him. And really, since that day, moving forward, getting to the point we're at now, I kind of just seen like the way we've prepared and the way we do things at UConn, and how it's kind of translated to the field. It's just been super special to be a part of this group. I can say I've been here for 6 years now. These past 3 years have been nothing short of special, and this year in particular has definitely been the best one.
Well, I got here in the first spring when Coach Moore got here, so I wasn't here early on, through the tough times, but one person I think about in particular through those times is my brother Dow over there, and he's told me everything. He's been here for 6 years along with Chase, and like this is just a blessing to be here where we're at now. And at least for me, honestly, when I first came here, I knew from meeting Coach Moore and the staff that like we had something special, and we had the opportunity to do something special. And ever since we all came here and put in the work together, we've just been, making deposits to make sure that this day comes to fruition. So here we are now.
Before you ask me more questions, I'll just say that we've got we have 8 captains. So everyone on our team's a captain. But John Nider, who's a wide receiver, he's a special teams captain. John Bechtel, special teams captain. Dalmont, who's, as Jelani just said, has been here a long time. And then Cam Edwards. So if you want to ask them questions as well, they're able to answer.
For Jelani and Coach, just can you describe what the experience surrounding this game has been like? You guys have been here for a couple days. What have you been able to do? Saw you maybe got a tour of the stadium, things like that. Can you just describe what these last couple days have been?
For me, honestly, all of these things are great. Like Coach Moore said, we're thankful, for everyone who put all this together. But we came here to work at the end of the day. A lot of the guys here, I know they agree. So that's all I have to say about that, honestly.
I think I'll echo what Jelani says. We've tried to have a really nice blend of work and then enjoying the experience. Our players have spent a lot of time together. It's a very close team. I think they've enjoyed spending the holidays amongst one another, away from family. They don't necessarily be like being away from family, but they just enjoy the company of each other. And we've worked hard. We did not get off our schedule and our routine at all. Having a Saturday game has helped us. One of the reasons we're a little late this morning is because we practiced at a certain time the day before the game, and we stuck to the script. These guys have had great practices all week. I've been really impressed with the maturity of the team, their ability to focus in when it's time to work and yet still enjoy the great experience that the city of Boston and the Fenway Bowl has been able to provide for these guys.
for really anyone here, you're playing in a very interesting location. You're playing at Fenway Park, one of the weirdest dimensions in baseball, but a bit of a strange dimension here. For the football game, benches on the same side, really tight in one of the end zones to the wall. What kind of preparation has gone into this one with substitutions, coaching from further away, anything that kind of has had to be different heading into this one?
Well, we've put in a lot of work practicing the special situations. Like, we put all of our guys on one side of the field, like, mimicking the side we'll be on game day. And we'll go through our situations from the hurry up stuff with the offense, the field goal stuff, the defensive signals, offensive signals, making sure everyone's in the right position and mimicking game day, because that stuff can lead to a penalty and things of that nature. So we just try to make sure we do the best we can to mimic what we'll do on game day to make sure everything goes smooth when the game comes.
For whoever's willing to answer this one, obviously on the other side of the ball, a lot of focus has been over there, right, with who's coming in as the next head coach and a lot of the talk, kind of the outside noise. Are you guys able to glean anything from that, kind of take something from that going into the game, or do you just try to block it all out and focus on yourselves?
We don't try to, we do. It's irrelevant to us. We can't control the emotional component of our opponents, and so we don't try to. We focus on what we can control, and that's our preparation, that's the way we work, that's the attention to detail, it's the mindset, and it's the way we go out and perform. And as far as I know, Coach Belichick will not be taking the field on Saturday, so it's irrelevant to this football team.
This is for Coach Mora, and then I just would love one of the players to weigh in too. But
Jelani will weigh in. He's doing a good job so far.
Who's the most talkative besides Jelani to weigh in? No, but really, what struck you? You guys got to get on the field last night. What struck you about coming in here? What did you look around at? What caught your eye? Just kind of how did you take it all in besides the wonky dimensions?
Go ahead, Tui. Why don't you start us off?
It's like we're in a baseball stadium, and this is like not the same as a rectangle. We're gonna be on the same sideline. I actually grew up practicing on the baseball field, so it wasn't that weird. But being on the same sideline, like Coach said, we just been practicing the tactics and like the bright lights. They said we sold about 25,000 tickets and counting, so that's gonna be great. And that's really about it. Just the turnout of the event is gonna be big, and like you said, the dimensions of like the whole setup is gonna be different. But we practiced that all week, and we're gonna definitely adapt to it.
I think for me it was very special to see, because I remember 2 summers ago I was able to attend a game here at the park and then so it was kind of neat just to see the different setup and the field layout, and obviously yesterday being able to just like get a feel of how it's going to be on Saturday. That was very important. But also just see the Green Monster and just seeing the UConn on that Green Monster, I think that was pretty special. And then the 4 quarters, and we just got to make sure that once those 4 quarters are done, that we go 1-0 on this Saturday.
For me, it was a history. It's just, I'm a little bit older than these guys, and just I've always been actually a Red Sox fan, believe it or not. And so to be able to take the field, I've sat in the stands many times, but actually saw Carlos Stremski hit a home run here when I was a kid. And to be able to go behind the Green Monster and see how that operates, it's just, those are just amazing memories. And I know as these guys go through their life, they're going to reflect back on these moments, and it's going to mean more and more to them as they get older. And I'm sure now that, when the Red Sox are on TV, they'll probably tune in a little bit longer and say to their kids, hey, I was on the field at Fenway, where Big Papi, and you see, it's pretty special.
Thanks. This one's for Valentine. Just wanted to check, so just in follow-up, when you said that you got to come here a couple of summers ago. Growing up in Europe, like, were you already aware of like some of the like history of Fenway or like the allure of it, any of that, or is that like your first time seeing this?
Completely honest, I did not know what baseball was before coming to the United States. I would say skiing and soccer is Austria's favorite pastime, but obviously coming here the first time and just seeing all the fans and the way Boston loves this baseball team that was very special. And like all the tradition, you can definitely feel it in this place. There was a family sitting in front of us. It was a son, a father, and a grandfather. And actually the kid ended up getting one of the home run balls. And I mean, that was pretty special right there. They got teared up, and I thought that was pretty neat to see. And just that the whole, all those generations who grew up watching that same team, I mean, that was really, really special.
Thank you guys for being here, appreciate it. How challenging, Coach, for you guys is it? You've had a long layoff since the regular season, and this game, you know, guys might be sitting out on either side, and it's a different team you might be scouting compared to what you would have seen earlier in the season with film. How do you adjust for that when there's so many extra factors that come with it on top of it being at Fenway and all these other things? So prep, scouting, the whole 9 yards.
Well, we're fortunate because there's only one player that was able to play, physically able to play for us. That's not going to be with the team. So we are just business as usual. When we scout an opponent, we're certainly going to prepare for the opponent. Obviously, with Freddie calling plays, it's going to be a little bit different. But the schemes that they use, those will stay consistent. Any game that you go into, you have to be ready to make adjustments mid-game, during the game, well before halftime. But the most important thing you can do is you can master your craft. You can put the work in. You can be detailed. And like I said, have the right mindset, be ready to adjust, and play as hard and as physical and as violent as you can, and go out and execute. And so that's our focus. It's always, you prepare for your opponent, but we're playing against our standard. And that's, you see him shaking there, that's what we preach. And we believe in that, and that's what we'll try to demonstrate tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jim, just kind of build on what I asked players before, but what does all of this represent to you as far as the momentum that this program has built? You know, a conference tie-in was moved to get you here, right? Somebody obviously wanted you guys here. What does that all represent to you in terms of what's being built and the momentum at UConn?
It means a lot, Dom. First and foremost, the commitment of the university to football, which I think has been demonstrated over and over and over again. Secondly, just the dedication, the commitment, and the hard work of these guys sitting to my right and these guys over here and their teammates back at the hotel right now. A lot of them acted on blind faith, and their commitment to achieving things that haven't been achieved here in a while has been extra special. It's been extraordinary. It's uncommon. I've said it to you many, many times. This is, and I told these guys today, this is the most rewarding and the most special football team I've ever been around in my entire career. And it's because these guys work for it. They care about each other. There is no entitlement. They don't expect anything to be given to them. They're committed to the process. And it's unique in today's sports environment to have a group of 115 players like we're lucky to have at the University of Connecticut. And it also, to me, signifies progress, and that progress is built on the backs of these guys. And, you know, David Benedict over here, who's, you know, he sat in my living room 3 years ago, and we talked about this and where we want to be, and we're getting there. We've still got a long ways to go, but the commitment is there, and once again, it's because of these are special, special, special men, and they're going to be successful in anything they do in life because of the lessons they've learned here at UConn.
It's for Coach Mora. You just talk about coming from the pros. What does a bowl game like this mean to you and your personal experience? You know, what's it been like, you know, to come from NFL and coaching in college?
It's been amazing. It's football's football on the field, but football off the experience off the field between the NFL and college is very, very different. It's much more personal at this level. You're dealing with a younger athlete. They maybe need you a little bit differently in their lives than a professional football player does. The opportunity to come to a bowl game and experience the events and the camaraderie is different than anything you ever experience at the NFL level. And at this point in my career, in my life, it's what I enjoy most. Having the chance to spend time with these guys, and our whole staff it's just different. And Freddie and I, we competed against each other in the NFL several times, and as we were talking before we all walked out here, it was, we both agreed, it was just the experience of being around student athletes that makes this so special.
I'll direct it at Chase, but if any of you guys, players, want to chime in, what does it mean to you that so many guys have stayed with this program over the last month with everything going on, practiced and plan on playing in this game, to finish this thing out with you guys for your last game?
Yeah, I think one thing for me that I've always lived by is loyalty. And you look at guys that have been here in the past. I'll use one example, and this guy I think about a lot, and Christian Haynes. I mean, he was a guy who bought into this program every single year he was here. He was here for 6 years, and I tried to live my life based off how he did and how the habits he formed. He formed all these good habits, and he wanted to be a leader for his team, and I just sought after him, and I thought everything he did was special. And so the way I kind of live my life now and the way I try to lead these guys on the field and like off the field, I try to live through him. So I'd say loyalty is the biggest thing amongst this entire program, and I say if you can buy into that, then you can really be a part of a special team and make something happen. So
I wanted to add something else. Another thing I feel like is, like Coach Moore mentioned earlier, is like blind faith and just like trusting the process of what we have going on and trusting the people that are around us. Like, we have a great support system and the entire facility, the program, everything. Like Mr. Benedict, like everyone, puts their time in to help us get where we want to go. And it's just, a blessing for us to all be here now today and surrounded with the people we love and people that love us. So.
There's been a lot of discussion in the last couple of years about bowl games and their place in the sport. What does these events mean to you as a team, as a coach, as a player, coming into something, a postseason game? What do these events mean to you personally?
I'll let you guys answer. That's a good one.
I think we're very appreciative to kind of reap the rewards of our hard work. I mean, all year we try to fight for that 13th game. And so it means a lot to be able to come here and obviously not forget about what got us here in the first place, and obviously put in the work still on a daily basis, but at the same time just be able to experience what we achieve for ourselves, and then not forget to all that work that led to the whole year, not just during the season. So it's definitely special to have those moments and celebrate it together as a team, because it took every single person on the whole team, on the whole staff to get to this moment.
Hey, Jim. You took over a 1-11 program, I want to say 3 seasons ago. This is your second bowl. Obviously, you have a chance to win 9 games, which is an incredible accomplishment. What do you think could be the next step for UConn football in the unique position where you are?
The next step was to win that 9th game tomorrow. That's the first step. And then to evaluate where we are and bring in quality people that are good football players, continue to populate our program with winners that have the right attitude, that are selfless, that are committed to the team, committed to being great. And I would say for us, David does a great job of scheduling, and we play some Power 4 teams, and we've been really close. We haven't been able to get it done on a consistent basis. So the next step for us is to be able to, we were one of only 3 Group of 5 teams to go undefeated against the Group of 5, which I think is a pretty great accomplishment for these guys. But for this program, we want to start not just competing with, but beating some Power 4 teams and making the statement that, we are becoming very relevant again on the football field. And if we continue with that mindset and with guys like this, we're going to have to replace these guys in their leadership. And you can tell by listening to them how special these young men are. They truly are. And those 4 over there are the same. We have to continue to make a priority of bringing in the right types of people into this program, and we'll do that. And it's become increasingly harder with the portal, but we have we've hit pretty good so far, because it's important to us, and we don't gloss over anything that could help or hurt this program. Good? Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.